We have to go and get some snackies. We're heading to Sac. But I got bananas, some red vines. I also don't know if this is true or not, but Hubster says it's true. Red vines are licorice?
She's an idiot.
I know. Some Tums and some Mentos. So let me explain. Oh, also, some strawberry lemonade. So yesterday, Hubster and I decided, Monday, we're going ham, no more eating bullshit, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So today's Sunday, yesterday was Saturday. And we're like, we're going to do all this. So we went to one of our favorite Asian restaurants. And then we went to Grumble because they had some cookies that were in that looked bomb. Long story short, don't mix Asian cuisine with rich, delicious cookies. Or just don't be me and eat them all back to back. Because the way I suffered last night,
She was fucked up.
I literally had the worst stomach pain of my life, and I was legit 100% contemplating going to the emergency room because I was so done. I was literally, mind you, we had the air conditioning on, by the way, and I was sweating, full dripping sweat. I couldn't even talk because everything was so tight. My muscles were so tense. I was literally like this, trying to walk the pain out. I'm like, walk it out, bitch. Walk it out, bitch. No. I was even rocking back and forth. And then, next thing I knew, 2 hours had gone by. Still, no relief. I went and sat in a hot-ass bath. While in the bath, I will say that helped a little bit because I couldn't really feel it in the bath because I think of the steaming, hot, boiling water that I was sitting in. Couldn't feel shit, so that was awesome. I sat in that bitch for an hour. As soon as I get out, dried off, my stomach was like, oh, forgot about me. I'm still here, bitch. And I wanted to die.
I will say, I don't know if this is because I've gotten older or just the sheer amount of eating out we were doing. I can't eat fast food anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it.
I think
I have serious heartburn. Oh, what's up now, badass? You're so cool. I'll fucking stomach word.
I don't think it's because you're getting older. I think it's because you guys have no idea. Since we moved to California, we've been eating out pretty much 3 to 4 times a day. We rarely cook at home.
Yeah, which we had a long discussion about. That's why we're changing it. It's not like we don't have food.
That's the thing.
We have a shit ton of food.
We have so much food in our house, and we kept letting shit expire.
Go in there and be like, I don't want nothing in this house.
Literally. Well, I wanted licorice.
This is licorice.
I mean, it kind of tastes like it.
It's licorice.
Well, I'm used to licorice just being black.
She thinks licorice is black. Anything else is a fucking Twizzler. Guess what? Twizzlers are licorice too.
They're not black licorice.
No,
It tastes different. Black licorice tastes different.
black licorice sucks.
No, if they're just regular Twizzlers, then they shouldn't suck, right? Exactly. What do you think about that comment?
What comment?
That the girl left to have you to clone you.
She didn't say to clone me.
Well, she said to use your DNA or whatever and create more men like you who are proud. out there with like their trans women and shit like that.
Because it's not a matter of pride for me.
Right.
Like it's I'm not saying that, I'm gonna say it the way that I don't know how to say it. It's nothing special. Like, I'm not out with a trans woman. I'm out with my wife. Like, and if you're with somebody, like whether you're trans or gay or you're lesbian or, you know, whatever facet of the LGBT
or not,
or not, if your person is not proud to be with you, or not even just like outwardly proud, but if they're ashamed of you, do fucking better.
Yeah. And also, I don't know what it is, but for me specifically, can we remove the saying trans attracted men? Because to me that feels like you're only attracted to me because I'm trans. And it's like, if that's your thing, if you only seek out trans women, good for you, great for you. But my thing is I feel like for me specifically, I'm not speaking for the whole trans community, but for me specifically, that's what I feel like makes someone seem like a chaser, like a tranny chaser or whatever. It's like you're specifically seeking out trans women for some sort of fantasy.
I don't understand that shit. There's so many labels that, and look, there's so many labels that people put on shit that shouldn't be there, that is either passive aggressive or derogatory in some sort of way. Not saying that like I get offended by the shit, but I just think that it's asinine to be like, I'm a trans attracted man. No, you're not.
You're just attracted to women.
You're just attracted to women.
Men that say they're trans attracted, I feel like they're only looking for a certain type of trans woman. At least that's what I've been like seeing in some of these men that say they're trans attracted, because they'll seek out a trans woman, and then if she has her bottom surgery, then they're not interested in her anymore. But if she still has her dick, they're all for it. And that's when the lines blur to me a little bit, and I'm just like,
you fucking do it.
Because a while ago I used to be like, oh, that's so nice that there's like, you know, this like hashtag or trend going around where trans attracted men are talking about their, you know, love and respect for trans women. Thought it was so sweet. And then once I started talking to a lot of my trans friends and associates online, I started to see that there was a difference in what that meant.
Didn't like to be.
Because my trans friends who are in relationships with men, like healthy, happy relationships with men, their husbands or wives aren't saying they're trans attracted. They're literally just like, I don't think of it that way. I just think that I'm with my wife or my husband, and that just is what it is. But I thought about my own relationship with Hubster, and he's never looked at me like a trans woman. I've just always been Audrina, and that's just is what it is. And it's just, and so when I thought about that, when I thought about my own situation, and then I thought about some of my other friends that are in relationships or married and that happen to be trans, and their significant others being like, I don't feel like I'm trans attracted. I'm not just like looking at a woman and assuming she's trans and being attracted to that or whatever that may be. So maybe if any trans attracted man is watching this video, explain what that means for you in the comment section. Explain what that means for you, because I could be completely wrong here, and I would love to be educated on that. But from my own experience and from the people in my life that I've talked to about it that are in relationships with trans people or trans people in relationships with cisgendered people, they're not looking at their trans wife or their trans husband and thinking, I'm with them as a trans attracted person. I'm with them because I love them. I love who they are. I'm not out here trying to get, screamed at the rooftop like, oh, I'm a trans attracted man or I'm a trans attracted woman and all this stuff, and they want their tens across the board because they're dating someone trans, and it's like, it's not honorable to date someone trans or be married to someone trans because you're not doing the same thing in a cisgendered het relationship. Like, you're not doing that. You're not going, ooh, you're dating a blonde. Ooh, you're dating a redhead. Come on, redhead attracted king. Like, no one's doing that.
For me, it kind of pisses me off, if I'm being honest. Like, it objectifies what she goes through on a daily basis. And shit like that's always irritated me. Like, you're not special. You shouldn't get recognition because you're in a trans relationship or you're trans attracted. That's fucking asinine to me. Like, I never looked at her as anything other than a woman. Even, when we first got together, I was more comfortable than she was. And part of that is because I just don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks about me.
That's very true.
And at the end of the day, we're grown, and people somehow forget the golden rules you were taught as a kid, right? Treat others how you want to be treated. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Like, why does someone else's opinion of you or their thoughts or ideology of what the fuck you're doing, when you know damn well it doesn't affect you? And why do you let it affect you? Because I can give two shits. You can come up to me and call me a faggot, whatever, he, she, lover, whatever you want to come up with. Right. I don't care. But if you get within arm's reach and you try to hurt me or my wife, I'll bust your shit. Other than that, I'll tell you like T.I. said, stand there talking shit all night. It doesn't matter. Because you're not in my relationship. You're not me. I don't even know you. Why do you care?
Why do you care? Someone else's opinion of me is none of my business.
So shit like that has always bothered me.
Yeah.
When people say that, and even like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that like those things aren't nice to hear when people do give us compliments.
Right.
But a part of me is like, you shouldn't do that. I'm not with her for that. I don't look for that. Right. I don't go out in public.
And I think like for most people that do like say stuff like that to us, it's not coming and like they don't mean it maliciously. No, and I know we know that. But it's just like I wish it wasn't like that. Like it wasn't like, wow, look at them. Like he's married to a trans woman and there should be this, that, and the other. And it's just like, I get it. I get that people want to see that normalcy in the trans community because unfortunately there are a lot of men out there who want us just to fulfill a fantasy. Unfortunately, that is the case.
And it sucks.
And
that's why
it does suck. And then there's a lot of trauma in the trans community from being with men who beat them and kill them and just for being themselves, and because the men that are hurting them have some internal shit going on, but they're taking that out on us. And so there is a lot to that. And then I understand how shocking or surprising and shit it is to see a couple like us live such a normal, boring ass life. Okay?
I know.
And it's like, that's what all of us want. Like, that's what all of us want as trans people, is to just be normal, to just be seen as who we are. We want to be seen as, you know, ourselves, Adrena, Jessica, Savannah. Like, we want to be seen for just being us and not being Adrena, the trans woman, or whoever the trans person.
And that's why I told her for so long, she's the most powerful person I've ever met, with such a deep streak to her, because going out and living your truth is one thing, right? Like, I do that every day. But going out and living your truth in the face of such adversity and still standing tall is not easy. And it takes strength that a lot of people don't have. So I get why people are scared of that type of shit and are afraid to come out to their loved ones and stuff like that. It's not easy, but the constant objectifying of it doesn't help at all. And people will talk about wanting to normalize things. Well, that's not how you go about doing it.
Right. There is someone out there for everyone.
There is.
And I know it sounds so annoying or cliche to say, but I truly believe that. I believe the best in people. I believe the best in all things. Even when shit's dark, I still want to see the light. I still do see the light. And that's my truth. That's my beliefs. I believe in those things wholeheartedly. But what I want you guys to see from us is that we're so much more than me just being a trans woman in a relationship with a cis het man. Like, we're more than that. We're just Tony and Adrena.
I'm so tired of labels. Everything has a fucking label. I don't know how we got here or why we got here. Especially, you know, not just in our community. It's everywhere, and it's like every community talks about being inclusive or being accepted and everyone being, you know, equal, for lack of better terminology that I can come up with right now. Everyone gets fucking labels put on them, and it's like, as soon as you put a label on someone, you automatically associate them with some sort of ideology or stereotype.
Yeah.
Automatically. I mean, I deal with it. You know, everyone goes through it, but I deal with it too.
And I know everyone in the community has dealt with this at one point in their lives, but especially in the alphabet community, because that's what I'm calling it, but especially the alphabet community, how when you're with your like cis friends or whatever, and they'll say things like, oh, Bianca, I work with Bianca and she's also trans, you guys would hit it off.
Or if you're like with your cis friends and you're getting hit on and they're like, you need to tell them.
Oh yeah, like, oh, does he know?
Does he know?
Because he's like, I've had that happen to me so many times. People, you know, that know someone who's trans or something like that would be like, oh, you would love her, da 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 da. And it's like, just because we're both trans doesn't mean we're going to be besties.
Okay. That would be like me saying to
like
one of my friends, oh, hey, you're both white, you'd be friends immediately.
Exactly. And it's like, you don't say that to everyone else. I'm not going to like send someone else because they're black too, or like, you know what I mean? Like, why would we just hit it off because we're both trans? That doesn't make any sense. We have two completely different personalities. It used to bother me when people would be like, oh, I know so-and-so, they're trans, you'll love them. And it's like, before I used to just be so annoyed by it, and it still annoys me a little bit, because you're not going to be friends with everybody that you meet that's in the same community as you or whatever, just like you wouldn't with other black people. You don't get along with every black person that you meet. But I'm also the type of person that does like being friends with everybody. So They may not like me because I'm too extra, or I'm too this, or I'm too that, or we just don't mesh, or whatever. But I always am an open person. Like, I'm an open book. I will embrace everybody, and I always want everyone and their mom to succeed, because that's the type of person that I am.
Off on a tangent today.
We went off on a tangent today.
Regardless of who you are, trans, gay, lesbian, straight, queer, non-binary, whatever you identify as, don't be objectified. Don't let somebody turn you into an item,
Yeah.
or a goal, or a fetish, or on their hat. Like,
Yeah.
don't let that happen. I don't care if you've been treated like shit your whole life, if you've been dogged, if you've been wronged. Don't let somebody do that because you're uncomfortable with being alone.
Yeah.
Or because you found comfortability. I think it's this one. Could be wrong. Because you found comfortability in misery.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't do that, because you are worth so much more. You are so worthy and deserving of so much this world has to offer. And never, 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 never take yourself for granted. Never allow yourself to be mistreated for anybody. You're a badass bitch.
Oh.
So we hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like,
Comment,
and subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
me.
Bye.